CTV News at 5 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks so much for being with us on this Wednesday, January 21st. Sault Ste. Marie's member of provincial parliament had another court appearance today. Legal counsel representing Chris Scott made a brief virtual appearance in front of Judge Michael Varpio this morning. Scott is charged with assault related to an incident from last September. The MPP's legal counsel requested a 2-week adjournment to allow for out-of-court discussions with the Crown. The matter will return February 4th. Well, the temperature has certainly improved on this Wednesday, but the trade-off? Snow. For more details on that, let's bring in CTV's Rick Wyman. Rick.
Tony, don't say you weren't warned, because we knew this was coming last night. We've got some precipitation rolling into the Northeast, and of course we'll be talking about that, some of those numbers, just a couple of minutes away. Your first take on weather brought to you by CAA. Get your membership today at CAA.ca. This is how it's going to look by, well, tomorrow evening, once that precipitation moves through Greater Sudbury, Sault Ste. Marie, and several other areas. Parry Sound's going to get hit as well. That squall flurry activity coming off the water. So again, we'll talk about that and a lot more, Tony, coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Thanks, Rick. Ontario's Chamber of Commerce hosted a panel discussion in Sudbury today on the future of mining. And as CTV's Amanda Hicks explains, the conversations were sparked by a recent report on how to make Ontario a critical minerals powerhouse.
The official launch of Mining 2030, Unearthing Ontario's Potential, took place at Sudbury Science North, where panelists discussed the findings.
It was really important, I think, for the OCC to host this event in the North, being such a large impact on this industry and really being the key to unlocking this potential. So we're very excited to work with the Ontario Chamber of Commerce to host this event here, where it makes sense.
The report was released by the Ontario Chamber of Commerce's Mining Policy Council in December. It argues that more needs to be done to unlock Ontario's critical mineral potential on a provincial and federal level. Some of the recommendations include strengthening Indigenous partnerships, using a one-stop shop process for all permits to create mines faster, and start a long-term strategy for infrastructure.
I think one of the biggest challenges that the report addresses, and we saw this throughout the last year with a lot of regulatory reform of Canada that Canada and both Ontario put forward, is really the speed at which and efficiency at which mining projects pass through the regulatory system. It hasn't been a great source of investor confidence.
As we open up more mines and we do it with greater regulatory certainty and speed, and we do not have to diminish any of the environmental or Indigenous rights, we are really going to see an economic, social, and environmental boom in the province.
This report to me is a great catalyst continue that conversation and for our friends in the GTA to realize the importance of mining in the everyday world, as well as to the everyday wealth that we're generating and contributing to our province and to our country.
The panel wrapped up with a focus on the next decade, noting that amid global instability, Canada's reliability is our greatest asset. They see the report as more than just a plan for extraction, it's one of partnership. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
The chair of the Social Services Board in Nipissing is lobbying the provincial government for the Learn and Stay grant program to include early childhood education students. Following talks with 2 Ontario cabinet ministers at a recent conference in Toronto, Mark King wants to see childcare agencies be able to hire qualified staff quicker. The Social Services Board is asking the province to launch a pilot project. If that were to happen, the province would cover the cost of tuition, books, and supplies if students agree to study and work in underserved communities.
We don't have the trained people inside the system to look after the shortfall. And that's sad because, you know, if we had more people that were trained to make this work, there'd be a lot of probably very happy families.
The Ministry of Colleges and Universities says it has no plans to expand the Learn and Stay grant beyond healthcare programs. Sudbury City Council is backing a new supportive housing development. At last night's Finance and Administration Committee meeting, staff were directed to apply for funding. If approved by the Build Canada Homes Supportive Housing Program, the project would see a 40-unit built on this parcel of land next to 720 Bruce Avenue. City officials say the land is already zoned, which could expedite a modular build.
So that we have a place to transition people maybe who got stabilized at Lorraine, but they can't live independently. They need a permanent supportive housing building. It is, so it's not transitional, and it will provide supports for all the buildings, hopefully in the area, for those who need it. So we can have alternatives to independent living, because not everyone is able to manage their day-to-day affairs.
This is not born on the back of municipal tax dollars. This is in partnership with the feds and in the province, and certainly with municipalities. So that's why we're very hopeful. At the same time, we're going to be one of many applications across the country requesting those funds. We've done it before. We've been successful. We're going to continue asking and work with our partners to continue servicing the ones that need us most.
While city officials don't have an exact cost for the project, council has committed between $1 and $2 million for operating costs. The city hopes to use the money that it earned through the sale of single-family homes in recent years to fund the project. It's time for a quick break. Coming up on CTV News at 5, Rick has your full weather forecast. First, though, we're heading to the mouth of the Mishipacotton River. This live webcam is courtesy of the municipality of Wawa. Right now, it's minus 9 degrees. We will return after these commercial messages.
Fuel your Fridays with CTV and Pure Country. Enter online for a chance to win a $100 gas gift card. Fuel your Fridays. Powered by CAA. Life isn't one size fits all. Neither is CAA. Well, Tony mentioned just a couple of minutes ago the big trade-off, some warmer temperatures as far as we're concerned for the Northeast, but we've got some precipitation in the forecast beginning this evening and continuing overnight. It's actually been snowing all day in Greater Sudbury, anywhere from 10 to 15 centimeters. Let's take a look at the forecast radar, the system moving in, and of course, this is what we've got by early tomorrow morning. Just after breakfast time, continuing over the course of the day. And again, we'll have a variation in temperatures and, of course, conditions here in the Northeast. Here are some of the numbers now after some precipitation for today. Wind chill tonight, a few centimeters of snow in Greater Sudbury. Then tomorrow, minus 20 with the wind chill, turning colder, even though it's minus 9 with the wind chill minus 20 tomorrow. Chance of flurries Friday, minus 21. Sunshine, minus 18 Saturday, minus 17. Cloud cover Sunday and Monday. Chance of flurries at minus 12. Meanwhile, in Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, the squalls are back 10 to 20 centimeters at about another 5 to 8, possibly by tomorrow evening. Daytime high of minus 11. Chance of flurries on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, minus 19, warming up to minus 13 for a couple of days, then minus 10 Monday with the chance of flurries. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, wind chill minus 29 tomorrow, a few flurries. And again, Friday, we've got some sunshine, minus 23, minus 21 Saturday. Sunday, minus 16, some sun and cloud, more sun and cloud Monday at minus 15. Take a look at some of these evening temperatures at minus 30, minus 31, 32 degrees again. So very cold for the next couple of days. Timmins, Cochrane, and Kapuskasing. Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake. Wind chill of minus 23 tomorrow, some flurry activity, the odd sunny break, minus 11 your normal high, at least the air temperature. Friday, some sunshine, minus 21, minus 21 once again Saturday. Sunday, we've got some cloud cover, minus 18, and minus 14, some cloud cover on Monday. Again, some nasty overnight temperatures, minus 25, minus 31, minus 33 degrees, then getting warmer by at least Sunday. And how about North Bay, West Nipissing? Wind chill tomorrow of minus 20, some light flurry activity. Chance of flurries on Friday at minus 19 Saturday, sunny skies. Sunday, some cloud cover, minus 16, and the chance of flurries on Monday. So turning colder, Tony, once we get rid of the snow, but some areas will get a lot of snow to deal with, and I expect that we'll be shoveling when we get home later on this evening. Back to you.
Thanks for that, Rick. Community and police partners gathered in Sudbury today to mark Crime Stoppers Month. After a proclamation and speeches at City Hall, partners went outside to raise the Crime Stoppers flag. Sudbury Rainbow Crime Stoppers is one of 39 programs across Ontario that promotes anonymous reporting of crimes. Those involved in the program say it's the anonymity that's key to the program's success, since tipsters can provide information without fear of retaliation from those involved in the crime.
With our program, no one will need to go to court, and the information cannot be subpoenaed. Therefore, if somebody does want to call in for a tip, all they have to do is call 705-222-TIPS or go online, and they'll be able to submit their tips that way.
Anonymous tips turn hesitation into action, action into prevention. Time and again, that quiet decision to report has stopped crimes in progress, helped recover stolen property, illicit drugs, and has brought people home. And so if you remember only one thing today, let it be this. Your voice does matter. Your safety does matter. And together we can and we will stop crime.
Sudbury Rainbow Crime Stoppers says tips in 2025 led to 53 arrests and helped recover more than $1 million in illegal drugs, stolen property, and cash. 3 weeks after a wicked snowstorm, some school buses in Timmins are still not able to run their routes. Officials with Northeast Tri-Board Student Transportation say 57 out of 77 buses are on the road as of today, and 33 of those buses are only doing partial runs. They say there are still some residential areas that have yet to have snow removed, such as in the south end of the city. There is no time set yet for when all school buses will be operating as usual.
We've heard from some parents, definitely their frustration. They want an idea of when their bus stop will be serviced, because they do see buses on the road and routes being serviced, but not particularly their bus stop. So they have those questions when perhaps they might be able to see theirs. So we've been hearing that chatter.
In the meantime, the City of Timmins is offering free rides on Timmins Transit, but reloadable transit bus cards must be picked up at the transit terminal. You are not alone. Coming up on CTV News at 5, the Canadian Mental Health Association of Sudbury Manitoulin offers support for those who need it. Last night in the NOJHL, the Timmins Rock played host to the Powassan Voodoos. Voodoos forward Jax Pereira opened the scoring on a first period power play and would end the night with 2 goals and an assist in Powassan's 5-2 victory over the Rock. Powassan continues their road trip with a game in Hearst tonight against the Lumberjacks. Game time is 7 p.m. To the OHL, where this evening the Sioux Greyhounds are taking on the London Knights at GFL Memorial Gardens in a special Bell Let's Talk game. The Greyhounds posting these pics to their Facebook page yesterday of the boys in Bell Let's Talk toques. The first 1,000 fans in through the door will get a toque. Puck drop is 7:07 p.m. The theme of Bell Let's Talk Day is taking a moment for mental health. The Canadian Mental Health Association Sudbury Manitoulin offers a safe space and welcoming environment to help people start that conversation. CTV's Alan Everson has more.
People aged 16 plus can walk through the doors of the Canadian Mental Health Association Sudbury Manitoulin to get support. There is also a self-referral available by computer. Dana Carbone is an intake worker, a first point of contact when someone seeks help.
We want to reduce that stigma around mental health. A lot of people might feel uncertain about reaching out for support. So we want to, be very welcoming and encouraging for individuals to come in and access anything that they might need support with.
Many people don't know who to go to or where to go to start talking about mental health, so we want to reduce as many barriers as possible to make it easier for people to reach out, because we know that that's very hard to do.
The CMHA says it's important that people talk about mental health and supports the theme of taking a moment for mental health on Bell Let's Talk Day.
It's extremely important. Many people don't talk about mental health, and although we aim to reduce stigma, part of doing that is actually taking action and making it easier for people to start that conversation.
The theme this year is kind of just opening up the conversation and trying to connect with either your own mental health and understanding your own self-care, or connecting with others and checking in on them and their mental health. So trying to build those, communications and chatting with others about mental health and, the importance of getting support if you need it.
Officials with Bell Let's Talk Day say it's a day dedicated to awareness, acceptance, and action. Alan Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
The creator of a well-known Sudbury fashion brand will be honored next month by the Rotary Club. CTV's Madison Merrier caught up with Ryan Benoit.
Ryan Benoit started the Positive Inception clothing line back when he was a student at Laurentian University. What started as selling t-shirts out of his backpack quickly grew into a community-known and recognized label.
I always loved fashion and I always loved business, so I kind of put the two and two together, and I wanted to kind of create something to allow people to be a little more positive and try to make the world a better place, essentially.
Benoit hopes the Positive Inception name helps to inspire people to be themselves and embrace it with positivity.
One of my favorite quotes is your perspective drives your performance, and if you have a positive perspective, your performance will kind of follow, right? And I think it's easier to live life with more of a positive outlook and see the good things out of everything. Even if there's a bad situation, there's always something good that comes out of it, and I think if you have that mindset, it can really help you go a long way.
Benoit's recognition for his positive and selfless spirit is also being awarded by the Paul Harris Fellowship from the Rotary Club of Sudbury in February.
So Ryan, as you know, is a successful business person, but his brand really is an inspiration to many people in Sudbury, and he's an inspiration. It's not really just the clothing, it's sort of the Positive Inception lifestyle that inspires so many people.
I think it's amazing, and it's going to a good person and someone that merits it. Yeah, for sure.
I'm really looking forward to the night and there's so many amazing people within this community, and being part of this list and being nominated and being able to receive such a prestigious award, it means a lot. And at the same time, we're able to raise money for a very good cause with Easter seals, and it kind of goes hand in hand.
The Positive Inception in Sudbury has been an example of being able to achieve your dreams if you set your minds to it. And when community members see the logo, they feel that happiness.
No, I think it's the brand itself, being positive and spreading the word. There's not enough of that in life.
Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
The Adventures of Betty. When we return this week, our Northern Book Club takes us to Charlton near Englehart. You're watching First at 5. An author from Charlton, west of Englehart, has written a children's book. It's called The Adventures of Betty. Carrie-Ann Palmatier now joins us. Welcome.
Hi, Tony. Thanks for having me.
You launched this book last November. Tell us a little bit about it.
So this is a children's book, as you can tell by all the primary colors, and it helps them interact with the character Betty and her dog Diesel. So as you go through the book, she does some counting and she looks at some colors, and she ends up on a farm where she gets to count. She loves going to the farm, so she likes to count everything she sees. So in here, she's counting the horses. And with the reader, you can ask them, how many horses does she see? And can you count with Betty? So it is interactive with younger children learning to count and learning their colors. It also, you can read it without adding that little part. So if a child is older and you just want to read the book, you can. I think it's very colorful. I'm very proud of it. And I just can't thank Betty enough for the inspiration she gave me in writing the book. And that's about it. For the book.
Carrie-Ann, you grew up on a farm, so was that where you found your inspiration for this children's book?
Well, part of it, really my inspiration came from a couple of things, mainly Betty. I met Betty in her older years. I knew her my whole life when I was younger and stuff, but I didn't meet her till about 3.5 years ago, and she was an older lady, and I was privileged enough to meet her, and we got talking about her life as she was growing up in Ayrshire, Scotland. And she always loved the farm, like that was one of her things. So I jokingly was joking around with her, and I always said to her, you know, Betty, I'm going to write a story, and I'm going to call it The Adventures of Betty.
Carrie-Ann, I'm wondering, what does Betty think of the book?
Betty passed away, unfortunately, so she never did get to see the finished version. And I think that's one thing I wish I could have been in the right moment to publish at that time, but I couldn't. And unfortunately, she passed away.
I'm sure she's very proud of your efforts and you telling the story.
Oh, there is no doubt she's up there giggling. We used to talk about it. I mean, I read it to her even before I published it, so she kind of knew what it was about, but she just didn't see the finished product.
Carrie Ann, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it, and continued success.
Thank you very much, Tony.
Carrie Ann Palmatier was our guest, and to see more of our authors and our Northern Book Club, head to our website, CTV News Northern Ontario.ca. Our first community close-up comes to us from Greater Sudbury. We are just days away from the 9th annual Onaping Falls Winter Carnival. It starts Monday, January 26th, and runs until Sunday, February 1st. There are several events during the week-long event, including a snow sculpture contest, vintage snowmobile show, and a cardboard box derby. To Timmins, where Marcelo Rue says this is certainly a welcome sight. Snow removal is well underway after a big storm at the end of December. Crews are hard at work. And we're off to Crystal Falls, northeast of Sturgeon Falls. Beverly Lawrence sent us this picture of evening and pine grosbeaks. She says the birds greet her every morning at her feeder. Thanks so much for thinking of us, Beverly. And if you have any pictures, videos, or events you'd like us to showcase, you can email them to us at communitycloseup@bellmedia.ca. We have a bittersweet reunion we want to share with you. Baby Verena and her mother, Wendy Heinen, were reunited yesterday at St. Michael's Hospital in Toronto. It was the first time the two were meeting since January 7th when a tragic collision in Sault Ste. Marie forced Wendy, who was 7 months pregnant, to deliver Verena by C-section. That collision killed the Heinens' 2-year-old son, Devereaux, and the driver of the vehicle that struck them head-on. A GoFundMe page set up to help the family has raised more than $274,000. And there's more news for the North coming up at 6. For now, continue watching as we hand things over to CTV National News.